What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Jason Gardner is here from the Heavy Metal Wasteland and the Ale Horn. And this is episode number 300. And our guest this week is Tony Demolition Man Dolan from the band Venom Inc. Holy shit, dude. 300 episodes.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. Do you ever think you'd make it to like 100 or 200, let alone 300?
No, you know, it seems weird, like, thinking about episodes in blocks like that, because that's a, you know, like a 2-year block. Every 100 episodes is 2 years.
Close to 2 years, yeah.
Because, you know, well, it's like a give or take. Sometimes, you know, you might have 53 episodes depending on how many Fridays fall.
Sure.
And, you know, and I think in 2022, there were actually 54 Fridays in the year. So, but like the previous or the next year, there was only 51.
Right.
So it's interesting on how things fall, because Tony actually came on the 100th episode and did a well wish on that. Mm-hmm. And so this is his first appearance on the Metal Forge as a guest since Halloween of 2020.
Right.
So this October seems like it's been the rehashing some or reforging some older guests from the first year. You know, earlier this year we had Chris Black on the show. We had Jarvis again, who was an early guest with Night Demon. Ladybeast, an early guest. And you know, you and I last night were crunching some states up here and seeing how many states had been been represented on the Metal Forge, and I was shocked to only see that there were 25 states.
Yep, halfway there.
I know, and what's crazy about it is, like, I would have thought there were more, but then again, you know, the places like Hawaii that you don't hear of bands going to, you know, you really don't hear of any like bands like Night Demon, or they're not playing in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't hear them going to Alaska and playing or anything like that either.
Well, it's pretty far out of the way. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, there's no Northern Canada tour, I don't think.
I don't know any bands from Hawaii per se. I only know of one like big one from Alaska that was like 36 Crazy Fist. But other than that, I don't know of any from Alaska either.
So, if you are from Hawaii and you listen to this podcast, or Alaska and you listen to this podcast, and you were in a band, even if you're in an acoustic duo, you know, acoustic doom duo, whatever, I don't care. Hit me up, hit Jason up. We want to talk to you about your metal scene.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaii's more curious because, like, is it like do you consider it like a state tour when you hit all the islands, or like how does it?
Oh yeah,
work, you know?
Yeah,
like,
or you only on the Big Island, and yeah, that's a thing. Do you do a whole state tour and you go from island to island each night or something? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, how does it work? Yeah, I'm curious to know.
You know, I'm curious to see how like the Alaska scene would work too, because you know, how would you keep instruments up there?
I mean, they have electricity.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it still gets really cold, even with electricity. But yeah, there seems to be, I think, the two countries that have the most guests from them, other than the United States, would be Sweden and Germany. They would probably be the next two closest runner-up countries. We've had Colombia, we've had Russia, we've had so many Botswana, Africa. We've had so many awesome guests from all over the world, and there's so much more that I want to get.
Right.
You know, I definitely want to I want to make 2025. We're gonna clean up the rest of the map. We're gonna get people from everywhere.
Yeah, I know one band from Alabama. I don't think they're around anymore. They were pretty good. I actually thought about them today. I was like, I wonder if they're still active, but they haven't done anything for quite a while. So we'll have to look again for some more Alabama bands. I'm sure Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. I mean, I know Louisiana has some for sure with like I Hate God, Down, and stuff like that. But
Sure.
I don't know how thriving Alabama and Mississippi are. I've only been down in that area once, and it was at night a long time ago, so I didn't really get to see much.
I think I still need an Arkansas also.
In Arkansas, yeah. So
yeah,
Paul Bear's from Arkansas, so we gotta be something.
Yeah, hell yeah. So we'll definitely get that working. Well, I'll put out a list of states coming up in the next week or so, and other countries that we need to get bands from, and we'll get the people to turn in their bands.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Hell yeah, sounds like awesome stuff. So this is your favorite time of the year. This is the fall back era.
Man, the return of real time. Instead of this fucking bullshit forced upon us. Daylight savings. Welcome back, real time. I'm will embrace you with open arms, and it's nice to be in a club set up at like 7 o'clock and it's dark out and everyone comes inside. So welcome back to what's natural.
Sure.
Agree with me or not, I don't care. I'll never change my stance on that.
Yeah, I think the thing in the I think pushing everything forward like that is stupid, but like, I still wish it wouldn't be dark at 5:30.
It won't be dark at 5:30 until like right before Christmas anyway. So.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, even if the standard time was standard all year round, it wouldn't get dark in the summer until like 8:30. Right. I mean, why doesn't it need to be light at 9 o'clock, 9:30? Why? What do you guys do that's so important? It's obviously
you gotta get that last trim in.
It's obviously those people who never had kids that had to tell them it's bedtime at 8 o'clock when it's fucking sunny out. It's like, go get fucked. Standard time is the only way, and when the results come in Tuesday from recording this, which we're recording this on a Saturday, I'm gonna go ahead and just claim victory for the mama movement, and we're gonna get this taken care of really quick. So sorry other candidates like Vermin Supreme and all you other weird parties that are gonna claim victory. I'm claiming it first, and then Mark will take over after I'm done. And
there you go. And with standard time all the time.
Oh hell yeah! No, we're going back 2 hours. Fuck it.
Oh come on now.
Payback. No,
not 2 hours. That means I've got to put this episode out at 4 a.m. on Fridays, not 6.
The daylight wasting time to savings time.
There you go. What was it? Jesus saves, but George Nelson withdraws.
Yeah. But honestly, whoever you voted for, I'm sorry. This is what our choices were this election. It's pretty.
Yeah.
No matter how you go. So.
Yeah.
Come out if you're in Asheville. Come out to the odd and wash your sorrows away with some good metal and some beer, and make it easier to take.
Yes, do it. So, I know this time of year people hunker down and they get ready for their Black Friday shopping and all that stuff. But what do you like to do once it's November and December? What do you like to do, Jason?
Well, Black Friday isn't really a thing for me because like everyone does Black Friday sales pretty much by Halloween anyway. So, and I don't really like shop for like the most. My kids don't really watch commercials, so they don't really know about the hot toys. So I don't really have to worry about that kind of shit right now, So Black Friday to me is really nothing except for like nothing. So yeah, I mean, I just get gifts from like October through like December.
Hell yeah.
Pick up shit here and there.
So
yeah, the Black Friday doesn't mean anything. Now November, I start gearing up for Thanksgiving. I'll start buying like sides, and I get the turkey last. I usually get the turkey about the day before, let it thaw out.
Sure.
And then season it, plump it up with some broth and shut that. Cook it. But
It's going to be a Danos turkey this year, isn't it?
Could be. At my local Lowe's, they actually sell the big sizes, like the $20 bottles. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah.
Ooh.
They don't have a grocery store, but they got them at
You're gonna get your little pop deep fried turkey.
I'm not gonna deep fry it, but I will cook generously. Let's just say.
Are you gonna do the thing? Are you gonna make your Danos compound butter and put it up under the skin? And
well, what we do is we have one of those giant basting needles. Like the needles are like that long, like that big around. Like they open that big around. And what we do
block
is
needle.
What we do is we make like a herb marinade, and then we put that in there, and then we pour the rest over the turkey.
Boom.
And then let it cook at low temperature all night. Like I actually have to set an alarm to get up and turn the oven off and turn it back on so it doesn't cut off. Because the oven only stays on for like 5 or 6 hours.
Sure.
At least ours does. So yeah, I set an alarm to get up and turn it back on. Usually like I think we said like 225, and then right before we eat it, we bump it up to like 400 just to get that heat in there. But we don't do huge turkeys because a lot of it goes to waste anyway. So we usually get like 14 pound turkeys. So.
That's a good sized turkey. It's a
good size, yeah. You can eat most of it and not waste too much. Some people get those real big.
With a family of 5 like that, that's a total big turkey for that. That's a total right size, yeah.
Plus we do a lot of sides, but we got a few weeks to talk about Thanksgiving.
Hell yeah, man! I'm looking forward to it. So, one of the things that I like to do is I like to gear up and watch films and, just like feel good moments in time kind of thing. And I start doing that in October. Like I start with like the Universal horror in October. I watch The Crow, of course, every October.
Yeah.
And, it kind of bled into the concept album talk on the Alehorn this past month, where in September, I start to listen to more concept albums, and I start to do more time-consuming music things.
Yeah.
Where we come in, or time-consuming art projects, where I will listen to an album, or I will listen to 2 or 3 albums in a day, or I will watch a movie, or so on and so forth, But that's usually what I like to do when the season starts to get cold. So before we get into the episode with Tony, this is the first year without a Steel and Stone, and that would have been...
Year. It was COVID.
Well,
year.
Yeah, without the but aside from COVID, because that's a given. I know it was kind of tough this year. It was kind of like the snake bit episode, as we always talk about when we try to record and shit comes up or whatever. I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, are you going to gear up for next year and you're going to come out swinging and make it a big 2-day festival?
Nah, I'll just stick to what I have, man. No, dude, seriously, I wasn't really, I don't know, man. Like, so the year after I had Night Demon, I had a hard time doing it. I thought it was like kind of subpar because it was hard to really follow a band that good. And then again, with the last one, with Twisted Tower, playing the only show that year, and probably I don't know how long they didn't play before that. It was hard to find a band that would be that good. So like if you put a little space.
I mean, you had a guy come from Massachusetts down.
Yeah, if you put a little space in between those like really stellar lineups, it makes the next one seem better in comparison, and then a direct comparison, and kind of like coming up short, on both ends. So. And also, like, it was for a reason, because, like, the hurricane hit and nothing was going to work out right anyway. So the fact that I really didn't waste much time on it and then all for nothing kind of makes me feel like a victory in a weird way. Because even though I didn't know it was going to happen, I didn't have to fucking deal with the cancellation part, Like, getting the artwork done, getting a poster done, paying to do all of it, and then for what? Like, So. Now I like to do the posters with kind of the theme of the headlining band. So like even if I got it done this year, next year might not have worked out.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not too sad about it. Like I said, you got to be into it. I really just wasn't into it.
I get that.
You know, my kids are getting older, wanting to do more stuff. Chad had a lot of stuff going on. It was just like, I don't know. It was a kind of like this slow year. We've done a lot of writing, but we didn't really do much as far as playing. So
yeah, you did a festival show and you did something else out there.
We did a benefit and a festival show, yeah, and then we're doing just doing like a regular 3-band show this Friday, which as of right now, I don't have a lineup because no bands are available because there's so many fucking benefit shows going on right now that they're all like, we don't want to play too close. It's like, I get it, but you know.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe it'd just be us. Maybe we just play 2 sets. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So we'll see.
Two different sets, one with Chad, one without.
He's not going to be there. I already told him we're playing, but he's already out of town. So.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but,
thanks, Chad. Well, maybe he'll be, if he's on his way out of town, he'll be listening to this on that, and we'll make him turn around and drive back like Roman Craig did in The Great Outdoors. He felt so bad that he had to come and save the day. Chad, we love you.
I'm sure there'll be someone come along, but yeah, right now it's just us. People keep backing out or can't make it. I'm starting to actually go out of town now to like close to cities and just be like, hey, you know, I'll give you gas money, but you know, it's for like charity if you want to play it. So we'll see what happens.
Sure. Well, dude, Jason, thank you for coming in to number 300 here with me.
Yeah, I was also on 200. Don't forget, it was the Lloyd Kaufman one. So yeah, I've been on the both 200 and 300. So
I know, and dude, it's awesome.
Yeah,
you are.
Oh,
you're
quick shout out.
In it to win it.
Yeah, real quick shout out to the I think the new MVP of this company is Aaron doing the unsleeved with Vanek, doing the cereal taste test right in front of him.
Oh, dude, that was great.
And yeah, it's cool shit. Yeah,
Vanek totally goes. He's gonna pound that whole thing right there.
Hell yeah, that's good shit.
And he did. And Aaron's just like chomp, and he did.
Dude, even in his damn McDonald's boot buck, I was like, dude, that's fucking great, man. I was like, how awesome is that? I didn't even know it was an unsleeved. I just thought it was an episode of Vanek. So yeah, the unsleeved part kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know what
that
it was.
That was what I said. I was like, dude, you should do an unboxing and try it on fucking on like an unsleeve. He's like, oh, that's great. And I was like, dude, you should have Vanek on. He's like,
yeah, it was cool.
And then I was just like, and then I had already hit up Vanek, and I was just like, hey man, do you want to do this? And he was like, yeah. I was like, good, I'll hook you two up.
Yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, congratulations there. That was a good one.
That was so fun. I loved it. I watched it twice. It was so good.
Yeah, that's the kind of episode that's gonna like get some viewers on this platform. So I think we could hit like 300 subs by the end of the next year. So
I think so too. I mean, we're already at 230, so
yeah. I mean, dude,
it's slow going, but there's so much stuff out there. But thank you everybody for what you do while watching, liking and subscribing and commenting on things.
To be honest,
the algorithm.
I'm kind of into the micro community shit more than the big community stuff. Anyway,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got their own little piece of the internet. You know, it's like the land grab back in the
1800s.
Everyone just runs out and puts their flag in a domain name, and there you go. You know, that's your little piece of the internet. So yeah, I think micro communities are pretty cool. Myself, way more than like being like part of like the metal sucks, metal injection, etc. Fucking, where all they do is bitch about everything. You know.
Sure. So anyway, Venom Inc.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on the episode before with Tony. And for the people who don't know out there, and I don't know if you're familiar with or not, Jason, but they are the prime evil lineup of Venom.
Right.
And so going all the way back to Prime Evil, we're going to listen to a live cut of School Days.
Nice.
And it's kind of Venom Inc.'s look of kind of hot. They're hot for teachers. So it's like, imagine the raunchiness of Venom.
Mm-hmm.
and the subject matter of Hot for Teacher.
Funny you say Hot for Teacher real quick before we go into the segment. I told you there's no bands on. I had one hit me up today, as a matter of fact, that wanted to do a Van Halen cover set. It's actually the second time I've ever said no to a band.
Dude, you should have them in.
No, I was like, well, no, because the venue doesn't want cover bands.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I had to gently tell him no. The other one was actually a cover band who wanted to open for him. I told him, like, dude, we do our own schoolwork, so I don't think we should be opening for you or playing with you. So thanks for that.
Oh, is that what you said?
I did.
We do our own schoolwork.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so thank you for that. But no, we're good.
Hell yeah, schoolwork for school day.
Oh, our old logo font, they fucking ripped it 100%, and then they fucking hit us up to open for them. Like within. Yeah, I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you off the air, but I'm not gonna say it on air. But yeah, fuck those guys. They pretty much fucking stooges. So.
Dude,
and not the cool kind, not the Three Stooges. So.
I was watching them earlier.
Dude, if you're a American male, probably more than likely white, it's a rite of passage, dude. You gotta fucking watch Three Stooges.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a racial thing. It's just like I don't know. It's just a thing, you know.
No, it totally is.
Yeah,
dude. Thank you so fucking much, Jason, for sticking around with this fucking craziness. And let's listen to some fucking Venom Inc.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Fuck yeah.
This is called the Blues Man. Fuck you. Anybody remember their school days? Let's make you fuckers go wild. Remember me, I was your teacher but at school. You taught me everything and how we broke the rules. Well, now I'm back to show you everything I learned. Play with fire, you know you're getting burned. Get 'em down! Ah, teacher, get 'em down! Come on down! Get 'em down! Wow, teacher, get 'em down! Wow. She got a fire raging in between her thighs. I got a hose to put it out, try this one side. Well, teacher swallowed her. Yeah, this is what they mean by it fits like a glove. Get 'em down! Wow, teacher, get 'em down! Come on down! Get 'em down! Teacher, get 'em down! Teacher taught me everything. When I went is there. When I heard that school bell ring. Now that she will know. She sees how hard it gets when she lifts up her dress. She licks the lips and says, now put it to the test. She goes down faster than it's sinking ship at sea. But I don't need rescue cause she's going down on me. Going down! Ah, teacher's going down! Come on down, come and sing it. Going down! Wow, teacher's going down! Teacher taught me everything. When one is there. When I heard that school bell ring. Now that she went down. I got this feeling.
All right, London, listen. We've got the only drummer in the world who can count to 4, right? What we need you to do is count for us. We need 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Louder! 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Louder! 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This time, London! 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
School days, teachers taught me everything. School days, when my father's dead. School days, when I had school married. School days, there's nothing she won't do. School days, school days. Come on, school days. Come on, come on. School
What's going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of the Metal Forge. Episode fucking 300 is upon you. And what better way to ring in 300 but with thy Demolition Man, Tony motherfucking Dolan from the band Venom Inc.
Oh, mate,
Fuck.
Tanison, and happy 300, happy 300. I remember the first as if it was yesterday. And
Absolutely.
here we are, 300 episodes later. Amazing.
I know,
amazing work.
man. And you know, it takes a lot to push the new age of metal and everything, because there's so many outlets for it, and they're, you know, pushing more underground bands. Like, and I've noticed when you all go out and you tour and you play shows, and aside from the festivals, which we all love to do, you all actually take out smaller bands.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's as much as like, you know, it works hand in hand. You know, the Metal Forge is a classic example, but you know, so much stuff on the internet, and I think it's really important that the fans are involved as much as possible. And when we go out, there's so many bands, and you know, some people don't get ever to hear them outside of their locale. And, you know, so it's a big thing for me to go, you know, that's where everybody came from. You know, Kiss came from there. Fucking Judas Priest came from that. Slipknot came from, we all came from that kind of thing. And, you know, when guys go, oh, it's so difficult now, it's like, well, you know, there's a lot of money involved. There's a lot of record companies, you know, boat press and all of that kind of stuff. You know, if you've got 25 grand, you can be on the cover of any magazine. But in the old days, you got put on there because you just were good and people wanted to see you. So, you know, though the shape has changed, you know, there's loads of bands out there, and it's okay, you know, there's Bions and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, it's so easy, you know, and on this tour coming up, it was a case of going, listen, let's, if there's a band that needs a platform in the local area, we're going to take 2 bands out, fill the undercard with the best bands you've got, the bands that you want everybody to see, and then we get to see these amazing acts ourselves. I get to hear all this incredible music, meet all these amazing people, and we get to experience what's actually happening on the ground. You know, not the corporate stuff, not the stuff you get on Sirius Radio, not the stuff the magazines want you to see, but the actual people doing it, you know, and you can't beat that. You just can't beat that, because the next Metallica's in there somewhere. The next Pantera's in there somewhere. I want to see them before they break.
Right, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I've looked at extensively over especially the last 6 to 10 years of metal, and seeing how cannibalistic it has become. Because, you know, there for a time, you know, and it all starts on a local level, like you're talking about. It all starts with where everybody was, you know, fucking a brummie, you know, fucking kicking the shit out of each other and shit in school in 58 and shit.
Exactly.
You know, and you got Black Sabbath 2 years later.
Exactly, working a shit job in an industry you hate, getting covered in crap, sucking in crap, rehearsing on the weekends and playing a local pub or a club or something. You know, it all begins there.
Yeah, you know, it does begin there. But here's the thing that I've noticed is if you if you kind of recall, there's that whole thing where everything became like a 21 and up in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I am to the point, it's like, I'm in my 40s. Okay.
Yeah.
The last time we spoke, I wasn't. I
I
was actually
know.
in my late 30s. And
20s,
just
20s,
that
say 20s,
switch,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Was enough for me to sit there and say, you know what? There's no new fucking 40-year-olds coming out to see us. We need to start playing all ages fucking venues.
Yeah.
And
We just did a classic example, Mark. Classic example. We were doing Rockstart in Romania, and then they came in late and said one of the bands, sick of it all, was sick, so they couldn't play this thing called Poland and Rock. Now it's in Poland. It's like a fucking. It used to be called Polish Woodstock. It's fucking gigantic. The year before they had 1.2 million people attend. So they say, would you do it the next day? Would you fill in? I say, yeah, well, we're fucking in Romania. We're not that far. Yeah, sure. Why not? They said, the only thing is you won't get any sleep. As soon as you come off, you have to get to the airport. And then we have to drive you 5 hours to the venue. And then basically you're opening the main stage. So you have to go on at three in the afternoon. So I was like, fucking hell, you only live once. Why not? So we did. Now, when we started, they said you probably get 500,000 people. We went on, and there was a big, healthy crowd, but the place was gigantic, so it didn't look like so many people. By the time we finished, I couldn't see the entrance. I couldn't see any. It was just people all the way back. 500,000 people. But someone had said to me, one of the Polish sound guys, we have Daniel Schrader, who does our sound and works for Behemoth and Batushka and everybody and Fear Factory. And he said, playing this, he said, I went when I was a kid because it's a huge weekend. It has all kinds of fairground rides and food and all kinds of entertainment and different kinds of music, dance music, you name it, it's all there. And rock music. And he said, if you play there, that's where all the young Polish go to see something new. And I noticed in the crowd, there was like, teenagers, young ones, like 10-year-olds, 16s, 18s, 15s, 14s, all the way up to, and I realized then is like, if we'd done a tour or we'd done a club, those people couldn't be there. They wouldn't experience it. And so to come off stage and see those young people going, holy shit, because it's important that they see that those bands that they'd heard on record and they heard their parents talk about and their uncles or their older brothers and sisters or whatever, that they get a chance to experience it. And that's why, for me, we're Venom Inc., we're not Venom, and we do all the classics. If people want to hear them, we'll play them. We also play our own stuff. But I think it's important about the music, not the characters so much. I don't care about the bullshit or the bollocks or these three and that guy and this guy. It's like, whatever.
Right.
For me, it's about the experience. And I want those kids to have that experience. Not just a cabaret version of it, not just a don't you know who I am? I've been around
John
a while.
K. Steppenwolf.
No, I want to take. And if I do a big stage where we got pyro and there's 500,000 people, fantastic. But if I can do a club where there's 200 people and we're in their face and it feels like CBGB's on the worst night of your life on a Saturday, that's what I want. I want those kids to experience that as well and go, this is what should motivate you. This is what it's really like. And all the rest of the stuff, I always have a problem with because that's the reality. That's the street. That's where you gain your communication with the real fans and the upcoming fans and the upcoming bands. And I always wonder that, when I hear about rock stars being this way or that way, maybe a bit of a dickhead or a bit of offhanded with fans, I think, when you start a band, you want everybody to come to your show. You want all your friends to come, your family to come. You're desperately trying to get people to support you. And then you might have a small following in your town. And then you go to the next town. You might get a little bit of following. And you spend your time trying to get people to like you. All of a sudden, the world likes you. You're selling platinum records. And then you treat the same fans like they should be cleaning your fucking shoes. Like they're not even worth a photograph or a signature. So at what point do you get from wanting to have fans love you to now they love me, I couldn't give a fuck, because I'm me. And it's
because there's such a disconnect between
yeah.
It's like I look at it like this, and I never understood it when I was like in my early 20s, like 18, 20
Yeah.
or whatever. I never understood it then like I do now when
Yeah.
I had an older friend in the scene who was in his early 30s.
Yeah.
And he always talked about the 3-band bill and how that's the show. You
Yeah.
always want to play the 3-band show, and you always want to play in the middle if necessary. But
Yeah.
if people are coming to see you, then you play your spot.
That's right.
You play last. And it's like the 3-band bill is where it is. And it's like these 5 and 6 and 7-band shows. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was just like I never understood it until I was like in my mid to late 30s. I was like, dude, that is where it is at. That
Yeah.
that 3-band bill, doing the show, and doing what you all do. And that's one of the things there's a lot to digest there with
Yeah.
what you said. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take this kind of piece by piece where we talked about openers and stuff,
Yeah.
and the bands that are kicking ass. Like you all are about to tour in the U.S.,
Yeah.
which happens very rarely these days, once every couple of years.
Well, that just to make a point there is that I hear when bands go, they set up a tour, and we've had to pull or reschedule dates. I mean, it's very rare that I've cancelled anything, and it's because Jeff was sick, so there's nothing we could do. But if I can carry on, I'll carry on. I once had Mantis drop out of a European tour. I mean, the drummer did it. We went on every night, just the two of us, and played a fucking set. Just the two of us.
Dude, that's amazing
bass.
because you all could do it. That's what's so cool about it. And it's, that's what's fun. But like taking out a band like Child Bite, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
what's so cool about it is like there's bands out there, as you said, and it's the disconnect. And I think that disconnect happens in that room between the barrier in the crowd and the front of the stage. That's where the disconnect happens. And I think that's what Roger Waters was trying to explain so long ago.
Completely.
In 1979.
Yes.
And, I totally get that. And that's where like that 3-band intimate bill, if it's in a fucking 2,000 seat hall, is just as good as a 500,000 cap
Completely.
festival.
But even the same thing, Mark, 2,000 seat hall, 200 club, 200 bar. It's
60.
It's
60
exactly
in a bar.
It should be. We once played supporting another band. We went out as Empire of Evil, and we went on the bill with them. And there was 4 bands on the bill, or 5. And we played this place up in. We were supposed to play this place up in Sweden, and it got changed at the last minute. We ended up in this like small place. The guys in there didn't seem interested. There was a couple of people at the bar sucking back whiskeys and smoking. And there was like not many fans, maybe 30, 40 people in there. And it was a good bill, great bands, but that was it because it was last minute. And the people, I guess, who were going to go to the original place couldn't travel all the way to this new place. Anyway, we go on. The promoter, I speak to the promoter and his main production manager. And they're like, I couldn't give a fuck if you're here or not, was their attitude. It's like, okay. Anyway, we went on stage. When we came up, they were the ones down the front, the two of them, all night. And when we came up, they went, holy fuck, that was like the show of shows. It was like you were at Wacken. And I said, well, every night should be Wacken. It's like, if I go to Costa Rica and there's one fan who's collected all the music, who's bought into the band, he's invested himself in the music, it's meant so much to him. Are you telling me I shouldn't go there and play for him, who can't leave Costa Rica, might never get a chance to see them, and he's dedicated his life to it? When I can go to him, he can't come to me. Then
exactly.
He deserves as much as any fucker else deserves. So when people have said in the past when we played places and they went, oh, they're playing some little shithole in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, because there's 5 people there who've waited their whole fucking life for it to happen. And if I can play their front living room or their fucking bathroom, I'll play it if it means something.
We're
to
booking
them.
this shit now. We're booking Venom Inc. in the Metal Forge live.
Don't put me in your backyard for a
barbecue. We're gonna burn the house down. I'll even backline it. I'll backline it. Hey, that's the easiest way to almost get any musician to anywhere. Now, hey, backlines provided. I'm
Yeah,
there.
absolutely, yeah.
Um, but you also said in that too about Venom Inc., not Venom.
Yeah,
And yes, you do have your own established sound with Ave and There Is Only Black.
yeah,
And you do have your distinct sound. And you do, when you do the classic songs from say the Mantis Kronos
yeah.
era,
Welcome to Hell of Black
you
Metal. Yeah,
do them as you would do them as you do, heavy as fuck.
yeah,
It's almost that's the only way you all know, which is great.
yeah.
So it is a different version. But how is it these days when have you had many fans come up to you and say, I got into you first, and then I looked at this incredible catalog, and oh my God, I know it's not you on it, but like black metal blows
Yeah.
my fucking mind
Yeah.
still.
I mean, the thing is, that's it. I've had literally thousands people write to me, come up to me at shows and go, some of them, Wastelands they came in, or Temples of Ice, or Primeval. Some of them even later than that. On Arvia was the first time they heard. I've had people going to me, yeah, I never dug Venom. I mean, I knew they were and stuff, but it just wasn't my thing. Then I heard Arvia, or then I heard There's Only Black, even. And they go like, fucking, that changed my whole perspective. And I said, it's always been my principle, hence the legacy, Venom Incorporated. I don't give a fuck where you find Venom. It could have been 1981, could be 1985, could be 1990, or it could be 2000. As long as you find Venom, there's so much there.
Yes.
There's all of this wealth and this glory. All of it you might not like, some of it you might love, some of it you might not, but it's all there. The legacy is there to be heard. And I don't want anything missed out. And we did South America, Latin America was Possessed. Fucking like 5,000-6,000 people a night losing their mind. There was nobody who was singing black metal going, hang on a sec, were you on the album? Nobody gave
No,
a
none
fuck.
of them
They
were.
just
Hell no.
lost their mind. And it
Hell
was
no.
the same
And
thing. It's same thing everywhere.
sure. And and you mentioned Jeff. I love Jeff. He is such a sweet guy.
Yeah,
Possessed. Oh my God.
yeah.
Got to meet him. We text back and forth, and it's like, hey, dude, how you been? How's touring going?
One
It's
of my
fucking
favorite
brutal.
people.
I'm an old man, he says.
He's not. Like he's already under the table, and he dragged me under the table in the
No
middle of fucking
shit.
Bolivia. Yeah, breakfast. We went from, I swear to God, you can ask him, we went from breakfast to lunch, and all we did after breakfast was we drank tequila and whiskey. And then I went, mate, I've got to go for a sound check. He went, yeah, I'm fucked. I'm not sound checking. I'm going to bed. I went, oh, you bastard. So I had to go to sound check. Full of that. So he's wicked, but I love him. I dearly love him. Yeah.
He is such a rad dude.
Yeah.
I love watching their tour.
Oh, it was amazing.
On
And
Instagram.
I think we're going to go out. He's out with Testament, of course, and Creator at the minute for Clash of the Titans. But I think end of next year we're going out again through Europe and through Asia. So we're looking forward to that.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
No dates are announced yet, but that's our plan.
So a couple more things.
Yeah.
You turned 60 this year.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Oh, yeah. 61 in
mean,
January, and I can't believe I'm nearly on the doorstep. It's like, what the fuck?
And
Yeah.
so how has your life changed through the decades with metal?
Well, I think, you nailed it anyway with what you're saying, what you thought like, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and what you think, now in your 40s. And it's like, I think that, I always kind of use the analogy of like, when I was young, I was hungry. I went to a drive-through McDonald's. I ordered every fucking motherfucking thing on the menu. I got it into the car. And by the time we got to the car park, the parking spot, I'd ate most of it. And that's how I was living my life. And the older you get, you go, I don't want a McDonald's drive-through. I want to go to a nice restaurant. I'll maybe have some lobster, maybe have something a bit more, and I want to take my time. I want to choose a nice wine. I want to have a starter and a main course and a fish course and a dessert, and I want to then have coffee with some chocolate or some biscuits, a dessert, and I want to take my time. And then I want to, instead of running out of the place and looking for the next thing, I want to take a slow walk home. And that's how I look at it. I'm eating it up. And, you know, I saw so many bands back in the day. It was like, you know, you're in the middle of a freeway. It was like at rush hour. It was like, what the fuck? It was all happening. Whereas now it's like I'm sitting on a bench watching the freeway, and I'm spotting everything from miles away. And I go, that's a nice color. And I'm watching that vehicle come all the way down past me, go all the way, and I can see who's in it. So I'm just taking my time now. I mean, being 60, I can't believe I'm still doing it. But, you know, I train every day. I try and keep myself as fit as I can, and keep my mind strong. And I think the music keeps you fit, keeps you vital, keeps you alive. But you have to have the passion. You have to have the passion. So, you know, for people who come and go, oh my God, I love you. You're fucking this and you're amazing and stuff. It's the same people going, I fucking hate you. I wish you'd die of cancer. You're fucking arsehole. You shouldn't be
there's
doing
just
it.
as many.
Yeah, you get the yin and the yang, but they're both extremes of one thing, passion. And so I'd rather have someone going, I've got to write to you because you're a cocksucker, fucking blah. Well, I don't want them to write that, but, you know, if they show a passion, that's better than nothing. And,
Sure.
you know, lots of people in America, you know, being threatened to be shot and all kinds of shit. And, you know, I invited the guy to come to the show and I said, listen, you keep going on about this. Yeah, well, Dimebag. I said, listen, I think that's a bad call. I said, if you turn up at a show and I don't know you're there, you shoot me, we're both fucked because you're going to prison for the rest of your life and I'm dead. So then what? I said, but if you come to the show and don't bring a gun, you can stand in the front. You're my guest. You can meet everybody. You can listen to the whole show. At the end of the show, if you still think I'm a shit and I need my tits kicked in, we'll go into the car park, last man standing. Then you go home. I'll go on tour. Everybody's happy. Nobody's hurt. So I said, you know, just allow yourself to accept it. Nobody's trying to bury anybody else. Nobody's trying to destroy any legacy here. We're just doing the music, and you might not like it, so you don't come. If you don't like an album, you don't fucking buy it. If you don't like a band, you don't listen to them. It's simple. If you're flicking over to a TV and you go, this show sucks, you don't watch the whole thing and then write to everybody in it going, you're a cocksucker. You just don't watch it. You don't watch it. It's like, it's simple. So, you know, I think that's the way forward. But the reason that people respond to us doing when we do the classics, 1,000 Days in Sodom, Warhead or something, not only because they're amazing songs, because they are. And the incredible thing about Venom, you know, and people forget, you know, I was playing with them for 10 years solid, and I've been playing this same set for 30 years. So I think I've earned the right to play Sons of Satan or Black Metal or Witching Hour. But the point is, the reason I do them is because they still excite me. Those songs still excite me. And when I play them from my heart. I'm not just going on and going, I'm going to play these hits so that, because I know you like them. I'm asking the fans what you want to hear. If someone goes Manitou or Dead of the Night, I play Dead of the Night or Manitou. And to see their response going, oh my God, but I have to believe in those songs myself. If I don't believe what I'm singing and I don't play it genuinely from my heart, and from that passion, then they don't mean anything. So that's what I do, and that connects me to the fans.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing of not getting that 15-foot barrier there between being a fan and being the deal, you know.
Yeah, we
disconnect.
I swear to God, about 22 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it was, we played a place called Loppen in Denmark. And it was in the attic room of this amazing club. And there was no stage. It was kind of on the floor. And my mic was like that. And, here, I can show you. I'll show you back here. Look. Let's go.
Like lemons,
so this is my mic, right? I'm here, and the other guy is here. And we both sang Warhead. He was literally at my mic with me, and he was a fan. The audience was right in front of me, and he stood there, and we looked at each other's eyes and sung the whole song. Now, imagine that. Imagine Kiss is your favorite band, and you're standing mic to mic with Paul Stanley singing Rock and Roll All Night. I
I
mean,
mean, that would be
that
the
can't
ultimate
happen in an
thing.
arena.
No,
It can't happen in an
it'll never
arena.
happen in an arena.
No,
No.
can't happen in a Fillmore with a
You
25-foot
know,
stage and a barrier and a pit and all that shit. It can't happen.
I
So
yesterday. Okay, so
yeah,
this is where we're gonna date this episode.
okay,
So this comes out in November at 300, but
yeah.
we're at like 298 right now. So anyway, last night I went to see King Diamond,
Oh, wicked, wicked. Yes, baby.
Overkill, and
Yeah,
Night Demon.
yeah, yeah,
And dude, what a fucking bill. I
yeah.
was so sad for my town to not come through. I know it
Uh,
was a Wednesday night,
yeah.
but like that venue was so undersold. It felt like King Diamond played a local show.
Shit.
And it's the King. And it's like I was 10 rows from the stage.
Yeah,
But it was so fucking epic still. They still brought it.
yeah,
And just his demeanor and his courtship and his manners.
yeah, yeah.
Even though he said fuck a lot on stage this tour, he's like, I don't fucking know what I'm doing. And shit like that, because it's like still early in the tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, he and when you're going on tour, and this will relate
Yeah.
to the King Diamond thing. He inadvertently called a song in an audible. Okay.
Right.
He
Yeah.
introduced the wrong song
Yeah.
and they still started it. Cool.
Yeah.
When you do stuff like that, say you have, you're gonna do black metal or Countess Bathory, and then for some reason you announce something different. Do you all just roll with it, or how do you handle?
Well, I guess the band panics and thinks, "What the fuck?" But I did things before where I was looking at this. I kept checking the set list. Now you play the same set list every night, so generally, I mean, I like to put different songs in. So because what happens these days, which didn't in the old days, is the first show you play of a 30-date tour, someone takes a fucking photo of the set list. Then they put it on their social media. So the people on the last night of the tour know what you're going to do. And I'm like, don't do that. It's like telling someone the ending of the movie they've been waiting to see. It's like, fucking hell.
Yes.
Don't spoil it for people. So because that happens, I kind of try and surprise them every night by doing something that last night they didn't get. So maybe if they know the set, all of a sudden we're playing something we didn't play. That wasn't on the set list. The next night, everybody sees the set list and goes, "Oh, fucking hell, they're going to play blah, blah." We don't play it. We played something else. So they're like, "Oh, shit." So I
love that.
I just try and make it exciting. I just love that about going to shows. I don't know what they're going to play, when they're going to play it. And so that excited me. But there are times where, because I did that, I've like rolled on with the fucking set. And then we come off stage and I went, brilliant. And they went, what happened to, I don't know, Angel Dust? And I'm like, what? Did we not play it? They went, no, you went from that song to that song. I went, oh shit. So I didn't even look, because that's why I always try and look at the set list, because people are going, but you're doing 30 dates. Surely you know what songs you're playing. I said, well, just go and refer to it, because I might have moved stuff around for tonight. So I just want to keep that referral going, But yeah, lots of times you just think, shit. I mean, when we did this, one of the festivals we just did, one of the big festivals, we had some pyro. So we got pyro from BMS. So we had all these fucking flames going. We went on with Witching Hour. We opened with Witching Hour. But the flames, the guy in charge of the flames said to me, "Man, I think you're a bit too close to the flames." I went, "No, it's fine. Don't worry." He said, "Yeah, but you're real close and there's going to be wind and he's like a 20-foot high." I said, It's okay. That's fine." He said, "Yeah, but it is kind of close. Do you not want to pull back a bit?" I said, "Mate, I did this production. I bought all these flames. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it." So he's like, "Okay." So off we go. Fucking hell, all the flames went up. The wind blew them. I'd have to climb behind the kit to get away from the fire. I was like, what the fuck? So we had to play an extra 8 or 12 bars before I could get to the microphone.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah, I couldn't sing, so I couldn't get there. It was so fucking hot. And then when I got to the mic, I put my lips on the mic, and I could hear my lips going. I was like, oh shit, oh shit. But that's another one of those things that happens. And the boys were on the fly. They could see that I couldn't get to the mic. So we just kept going on the opener until I could get there. And then bang, we went into it. And that's the kind of synergy you want on stage. You know, in the old days, Venom would all play their separate parts. So Abaddon would play the song like this, and Manchester would play the song like that, and Kronos would play a song like that. They couldn't really hear each other because it was too noisy, too loud. So they would all play their own version of the song, hence the chaos, you know, whereas that's great. You get a great atmosphere from that. But if you're not listening to where the vocals are, or you're not listening for any mistakes, you can't drive the car, you know? It's like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's like you're tracking on your steering off. You can't drive it straight if you don't counter it. So the band we try and listen to each other. There may be a drop note, there may be a problem, they may have moved the wrong direction, and we counteract that. So you work on the fly a lot of the time.
That's awesome. And to know that, you know, that you all still do it that way is, you know, because there are so many bands that, you know, play with tracks and play with the and everything else. And and it has its place, and I believe that. But you know, to be able to still do it, that's what's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, we've done shows where you know, because if you do festivals, you've got no time to set up. It's like a quick change around, and they want you to be on the button. You got to get on time and get off on time. And you know, that I pride myself that we are prepared before we supposed to start, and we bang finish on time or just before time. You know, if nobody comes up, like in New York, we played Webster Hall, and they came up and said, you know, there's a curfew, Tony. I went, okay. And they said, so you have to finish at 10:30. I was like, oh, you shouldn't have told me that. They went, why? I said, because I'll just finish whenever I want now. And they went, yeah, but you can't go beyond 10:30. I went, okay. So at 11:10, I came off stage, you know, and they were like, Mark, we said 10:30. I said, you shouldn't have said that, because once you give me a rule, I'm going to have to break it, aren't I? I said, because the whole point of this music is no rules. So I said, if you didn't tell me that, I'd have finished at 10:30. But the fact that you made me say I had to finish at 10:30, I'm not fucking finishing at 10:30 unless you get me fucking the police come, or the fucking, you know, the local militia. I said, you're not getting me off stage.
No, you don't want local militias here, man. They're fucking crazy rednecks.
Yes, well, that's good. We get them to do the security then. They can come and fucking join me on stage.
We did mention this the last time you were here. Was you kind of take a liking to American politics.
Yeah, I just, you know, I studied history, and my major was American history. So for me, it's all part of that history, and it's living history, and I love it, you know.
And we were pretty much in a situation last time as we are this time.
Yeah.
And
you're in a situation this time as well.
Yeah, I mean, like it's insane over here. Let me tell you, and you're coming over in fucking February.
I know. Oh my god, I can't wait. It's a mind-blowing thing. And you know, I think it's very difficult to weed your way through all of the gunk and the shit and the politics and the lies and the bullshit. And it's like, nobody knows what's going on. It's like, for fuck's sake, would somebody just sit down and explain what's happening?
Now, being metalheads, and you know how we had the collection conversation the last time. Do you being a American history buff like that, do you collect things from American history?
Well, funny enough, I did. I guess I had a collection. I have stones from. You're not allowed to take things from historical sites.
Sure.
But I have some rocks from
You're
Gettysburg.
not supposed to take.
I know, and they're not. But I kind of think, you know, when you go to somewhere historical like the Acropolis, or in Greece and Athens, or the Colosseum in Rome, if you just put your hand on one of the original stones, you kind of leave a bit of yourself there.
Sure.
And I did that at Devil's Rock, and I did that at Crazy Horse Memorial, and I took a stone from Mount Rushmore, and I have some pebbles from the Little Big Horn, and
Nice.
Gettysburg, Bull Run. So places that were, I did
So
the
particular 1800s
well, the Civil War was a huge thing. I mean, of course,
Civil
the
War,
War of
the
Independence.
civil you're right in the Civil War trail
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I
Um
mean, the War of Independence, was huge. So I've done the St. Lawrence and went to most of the forts down there. And of course, the whole way that Manhattan produced itself from being Dutch to English,
sure.
and then, of course, by independence, and how the Wall Street was created, and buying it off the natives, and the Florida Peninsula. Just so much rich history about that whole Western migration, the Buffalo Custer. His diaries are amazing when you read his diaries. The forging
I
into
got to visit
California.
that.
I
I got
mean,
to
it's
visit the
just
Little Bighorn battlefield when I was
wow.
10.
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing there, but it's like going to Agincourt, which was a big battle of Waterloo, big for Europe. Agincourt between Henry V and the French. They're just fields, but you know what happened there, the history of what happened there. And, it's amazing part of history. It's, people fighting. And I think that's the key, particularly at the moment with, Democrats and Republicans, and,
Yeah.
the Make America Great guys, and the non-Make America Great people, I guess, is that it's very much like the war. The Civil War is so important to America because it pitted brother against brother, sister against sister, family against family, and that's unusual to have such a passion that created a war between families and stuff, and taught us some good things and some bad things about ourselves, of course. But I think it's significant from that, and I see a lot of that happening now. Friends stop talking to each other because one likes this one and doesn't like the other one, or whatever. And I think,
And it all comes down to really just one fucking thing.
yeah,
There's money to be made in it.
yes, yes,
And it's
and that's
all
it.
about the money structure, you know.
Yes,
And
I
that's
mean,
what's terrible about it.
from the Dutch and from the propagation of the tulip and the creation of the market, which was a Dutch invention, and Wall Street and Manhattan exported tulips back to Europe, and that became the first thing. Of course, later it was cotton and guns and all kinds of other stuff for America once it was industrialized. But that was the initial thing. So America was built on commodities. What can we make? We can grow so much corn, we can send it back to Europe and make money doing that. So it became this whole idea of sales and making money from that, capitalizing on it, which is fine. But in amongst all of that, there are people who don't have the privilege of being able to capitalize on having money in the Dow or investing in Apple or
Exactly.
something. And
Yeah, I
so
can't
what
say that I
happens?
haven't.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, so what happens to those people? And I think, it doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden or Barack Obama or George Bush or Donald Trump or even Kamala Harris. It's what about the people? The people in
Exactly.
America, they just want to have a peaceful, safe existence, have the richness that is America, make enough money that they don't have to worry about bills and fuel and food, and have their families be around them and be successful. And that's all any parent wants for any of your offspring and as a community. And that's what I would hope whoever becomes, whatever they become, president or whatever, that they invest in Americans and give them back what they had. Because I saw that when I lived in Windsor opposite Detroit. Detroit was having a really rough time. It wasn't the best city. New York was rough as fuck back then, before Giuliani and the cleaning everything up. But the
Look at him
wonder,
now.
well, yes, exactly. Oops.
He
But
just current events, he just got ordered to
I just
turn
saw,
over
yeah.
his penthouse
He's got to
and
give
his
his
belongings.
penthouse away to those two women.
Yeah.
And his TV. His
You
TV.
know, I want to cue the Jeffersons theme right now.
Oh
Moving
shit!
on
Yeah, it's like wow.
up.
Yeah, who saw that coming? But you know what?
Wow.
But I think I think that we're in this really wacky place at the minute, and it feels like that.
It feels
We
like
were
it's worldwide at this point.
yes, yes. It feels like it feels like what we did was. Have you ever seen the Marvel movies or any of that? It feels like we've hit a tangent with the COVID thing, and we actually went on an alternate universe, and we're in some kind
Maybe.
of made up shit because it's like, what the fuck is happening? It's just so strange. Where it's going, I don't know, but I always have faith in humanity, and I have a great love for America. Goes all the way back to my youth, and I just want America because it's one of the most beautiful things on the planet. The from the deserts to Salt Lake to the mountain ranges, Pacific Coast to New England, Vermont, even
I
down
hear
to
Woody Guthrie. I hear Woody
yes,
Guthrie here.
yeah,
This land is your land.
yes,
Yes. And speaking of, the ultimate musician, you know, the man stood there with his guitar, said, "This machine kills fascists."
yeah,
And here we are playing metal today, doing the same thing.
yes.
Dude, yeah, like,
The thing is, when when we used to go and see shows when I was young, if I went to see a punk show, I didn't know what denomination anybody was. I didn't know where they went. I didn't know what their thoughts were. I didn't know if they were right or left leaning politics. I didn't know what they believed
no,
in, what they ate for breakfast. I didn't know, and I didn't give a fuck, and neither did they. We were just in the zone for the music. And the same thing with metal. I went in, I'd have a rose tattoo badge on. I'd have a fucking Motorhead shirt on, and the guy next to me's got Styx and Journey. I didn't go fucking Styx, Journey. That's not Motorhead. What are you doing in a Motorhead concert? They're heavy and stuff. We didn't care. It was just music, and you either liked it or
sure.
you didn't. And I think a restaurant is a classic example. If you take 20, 30 people and put them in a restaurant and they're all at different tables, they'll all order different things. Some might get the same thing, but it won't be the same food. It might taste similar, but it won't be the same. But people order different things. They drink different things. What's wrong with that? That's the whole tapestry of life. And music transcends language, transcends politics, transcends religion. It's just an experience, and we all do it together. And on the last US tour, let's say pick a Dingbats or something in Jersey. Okay, we're playing Dingbats or the Brass Mug in Florida or Whiskey a Go-Go. I don't know where these people are from. I don't know what their mothers and fathers have taught them or believe in them. I don't care. I don't know what they've
But
learned at
you're
school.
there
I
for
don't
the
know.
metal and you're there for the
Yes,
music.
they're just
And
there for
that's
the
what it's all
music.
about.
And for that one night and for those few hours, we're free to just do what the fuck we like together. And that's the meaning of the whole thing. Tomorrow, the shit will be the shit. You'll still have the same problems you had, but tonight, you don't have the problems. It doesn't matter where you park your car. It doesn't matter if your dog's just shat on your favorite rug. It doesn't matter what your boss thinks, your teacher thinks, your parents think. It's only what's happening right now that matters. And that's true freedom. And that's our music. And it should always be like that.
Absolutely. I couldn't, I agree 100% with that. So going into 2025, we do have the new tour.
Yep.
And it's been since 22 since There Is Only Black came out. Are we planning a
Yes.
new album?
We are indeed. When we did it initially, we wrote enough for 2 albums, and
Okay.
the idea was it was going to be over 2 albums, and it was going to be based on Dante's Inferno and the Nine Circles of Hell, and then of course Mantis had his heart attack. He experienced the nothingness of death because they had to bring him back to life, and he wrote this track and he sent it to me. I said, "Yeah, I really like that. Have you got any lyrical ideas?" He went, "Well, I wrote it because." I wanted to express what happened to me. And so I called it There's Only Black because that's all I ever saw. And the minute he said that, the whole meaning came to me. And I did the cover and it was like, yes, this is what the album's about. This is what it means. Because beyond our knowledge, there's only black. If you turn all the lights out, what is there? Darkness, black. If you die, what goes on? Well, we assume blackness. If you go into a black hole, what's in there? I don't know. I can go in and have a look. But I can't come back out and tell you what it is. I can't come back after death and tell you what is after death because it seems to be only black. So it's about seeing that. And so this was supposed to be the journey from birth to death. Of course, then it changed to There's Only Black. So the next one, is going to be Beyond the Black, because it's like the tour. It's got to be what's next. I don't know, but we're going to find out together. Maybe we've got some insight into it. Maybe we don't. But that's it. So we're going to start work on that. In between, there's 2 live albums going to happen. Part of the Assault series, and then there's an EP plan. So yeah, it's all quite exciting.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I just thought, right where we are now, with Paul Diano just passed the other day, stuff just Jakey Lee was shot at, and and you just think, fuck, we're losing so many of us, the old guard, and I just thought, yeah, there's no time. There's no time left. So while we've got the time, we might as well use it properly. So live, record, release, play. That's it. That's it.
Hell yeah. I totally get you on that. Now I am so looking forward to it, because like everything from like Empire of Evil, Primeval, Wastelands, all of that into Ave and There Is Only Black has been this ever present build of the sound, and I am a ridiculous fan. I'm like, holy shit, what is Venom Inc. doing now?
Oh, well,
Gosh,
thank you, man.
like,
I really appreciate it.
And I try to follow everything. But hell yeah, totally looking forward to new stuff. I'm definitely going to try and come out to the Atlanta show.
You have to. You're my guest, so you have to come.
It's
how it works.
8 hour. It's 8 hours for me, but I have family.
Is it? Well, the thing is as well, just so that you know and everybody else knows, because we didn't get we on this half we couldn't get to Portland or Seattle, which I always love to go to, because they didn't have space when we needed it, and some shows also on the East Coast and some mid shows. So what I decided to do
that was my deal, because I was going to try and bring it all to Louisville. And the date, it would have been like a Wednesday night, and it would have been like the King Diamond thing.
But that's okay. Hey, that's okay. It doesn't matter to us. It's not about that. It's about who comes. We want everybody to be able to see it, of course, and I don't want anybody to miss out when it's on their doorstep. So, of course, a better date for everybody because of work and travel is understandable. But because we couldn't do Canada as well, because we couldn't fit that in, so we're going to do part 2. So part 2 will hit all those places that we can't hit right now. So there will be a Seattle, there will be a Portland, we will come down there, and of course the Canadian dates. So wherever we haven't hit on this first run, we will hit on the second run. But what's also been interesting is I wanted to do something a bit special. So I've invited celebrity guests who are coming to shows, and they're going to pop up and do a track on stage live. Now, everybody, as soon as I said that, people were going, "Who's coming?" It was like, well, fucking hell, what's the point of telling you? That's like telling you what's in your Christmas present. I'm not going to tell you. I want you to like it. And I won't tell which shows.
It's like, I am totally down for shit like that. That is awesome to me. I love that's what I was getting at earlier with the calling an audible on stage.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's a planned audible, but the crowd's not going to know.
No. And a lot of them, like a couple of the guests go, "I'll come down for a sound check." I said, "Yeah, we can run it." But some of them are going, "I don't know if I can make sound check." I went, "I couldn't give a fuck. Bring your sticks, bring your pick, bring your guitar, whatever you want to bring. You just turn up. You just turn up and we'll just do it. It'll be whatever it is when it is." Because the one thing that Punk taught me was, just the happening is as important as the what it is. Just the fact that it's happening. And so I said, don't worry, just get up and be with us. And that's what it's about. And again, it's another extension, like we were saying about the local bands and having the local bands on. It's like, it's another extension of that. It's like, listen, we're one brotherhood, sisterhood, theyhood, themhood. Where our music is what binds us together. I can't, if I'm going to play in fucking Oakland or San Francisco, I'm not going to have a Bay Area band there, and I'm not going to get them on my stage. Are you mental? Of course I am. When I get to New York, New York, that richness, of course. Florida for death metal. I'm going to do Florida with death metal and have some death metalers come out and not ask them to get on stage. Are you crazy?
And honestly, just as much as like fucking Motorhead, that is the fucking thing with Venom/Venom Inc. You all transcend all these fucking metal genres, these
Yeah,
genre subgenres. You are Venom Inc.
yeah,
You fucking flow with everyone.
that's
And I
it. It's
love
just
that.
that. Yeah,
You,
because it's like you said about the recordings. What I loved about Venom in the early days, more than others, was there was the only synergy was it was Venom, but
sure.
production was different. The approach to the tracks were different. The sound on some of the releases. Welcome to Hell sounds very different to Black Metal, which sounds very different to War with Satan, which sounds very
Yes.
different to Possessed, which all sound different to every single they did. I mean, so it's like it
And then you
should
have
be.
like the shit that was recorded in like the radio studio.
Yes, yeah. So
And
and
it's
and
like,
So it's
what?
like, you don't want like 50 albums to all sound, of course, that's an identity, but you don't want 50 albums to all sound the same. So I know what you're going to sound like. That might sound great on 50 albums to go, yeah, this is the sound and I can recognize it anywhere. But I'm going to stand for 2 hours watching you play the same song over and over again, is what it's going to feel like. And I don't want that. I don't want it to be the same song. And and people go, it's more rock and roll than extreme. I said it's black and roll. But the point is that
Yes.
you know, you can sing the songs, you can feel the groove, and it doesn't feel extreme. But it was extreme. You weren't there when it was extreme. Now it's not extreme because it's extremity. But that's just as much to see that someone has to invent spaghetti before you're eating carbonara, before you're eating spaghetti and meatballs.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you can go, there's loads of different kinds of pasta, but maybe originally there was only one kind of pasta. So it's
Sure.
like,
I
that
mean,
doesn't
yeah,
mean it doesn't
nobody,
taste good.
yeah. I mean, somebody had to make manicotti.
Yes. I mean, it's as much as the lyrics from Metal We Bleed, or Sons of Satan, which has become my anthem or the anthem of Venom Inc. Somewhere in time we were born. We're all the sons of Satan, inclusive of everybody, of course, just
Sure.
using Sons of Satan. But it's like, well, if what we do and the music we love and the tattoos we wear and the places we go to, bars and our piercings, if that makes us satanic, then we're all the sons of Satan, aren't we?
Well, absolutely, because
There you go. There you
there he is
go.
right there, right
Yeah,
on the
baby.
wrist.
And it's
And
it's symbolic of freedom, of our freedom. Not everybody's
yes,
freedom, but it's symbolic of our freedom, where we, you're free when you're in America. And like it's the most freest place in the world. Is it? Well, we're kind of free in England. We still pay our tax, but we don't pay a state tax and a government tax, but you pay a state tax and a government tax. You can't
and we
park your
pay
car.
sales tax and we pay
Yes,
sin taxes. Yeah.
exactly. You can't park your car anywhere you want. You can only park it at certain times in these places. So can we? There's so many rules. You have to be at work at this time. You have to take this amount of holiday. You're only allowed to have this. You can't do this. You can't. So we're confronted with that all the time. So and everybody is, and some places more oppressed than others. But none of us, if we think of it like that, are completely free, except when we're listening to our music, or we're in the gym, or we're painting, or whatever your creativity is. You're in control of that. Only you. Only you. You're in control of what you listen to. You're in control of what you play. You're in control of what you paint. You're in control of what you do in the gym. Something, nothing, everything. It's within your control. And so for me, that's total freedom, which is why it's so important. It's
Yeah.
so important.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. And it is all about total freedom and the aspect of, you know, there's nobody chewing down your ass at that time
No,
for just, you set aside all of your bullshit differences for that 40 minutes of a set each
yes.
night, and that's what's fucking killer about it.
Yeah, completely. I think I froze. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you
Oh,
get
okay, that's cool. My screen's froze. But I just want to say that, I understand, the pomp and the celebration and the ceremony of running for president. So just speaking of music, I don't know how I feel about when, Donald Trump uses, for example, He uses YMCA, but he uses a song, in one of his shows. And then I read that an artist has come out and they want to sue him, and he's using that song, and they don't want to be. And it's like, well, hang on, you're saying because he's using your song, he's associating himself with you or using you to promote himself for president. And maybe he's just playing it because it's a really good song. And maybe the audience are listening because it's a really good song. So the same audience you're now telling, because you are telling them they can't listen to it if Donald Trump's there, are the same people you were selling it to fucking when you released it. So it's like, hang on. Music shouldn't be something that you connect too much political power to. I mean, you do have the dead Kennedys and all of that, so you do have these political movements like we had punk, but it's about freedom, and it's about you listening, and I really struggle with that kind of stuff when an artist goes, oh, they shouldn't be singing that song, or there's a battle between Kid Rock on one hand and what's the girl, Taylor Swift, on the other hand, because Kid Rock supports him and Taylor Swift supports her. And it's like, they're human beings. If they want to support whoever they want to support, let them. Sure. Isn't that the whole point of freedom? Isn't that the whole point of, you like what you like, and it shouldn't be bad if someone disagrees with you. That's what you want to do. And so I think the same thing with music. So, all the other stuff is crazy, as we know, it's crazy. But, and it's happened here too with the Labour Party and the Conservatives. And it's like, hang on, you shouldn't be using music to say people can't hear that because, someone wants to walk onto it. It could be their favorite song. Who's to say that the reason Donald Trump plays YMCA all the time is because it's his favorite fucking song? And it's like, imagine the Village people going, right, we're going to sue you. You can't use YMCA. It's like, what? Shut up. It's only a song, for fuck's sake. Yeah, maybe you should use Rain in Blood. Maybe Kamala Harris or Joe Biden should have done Rain in Blood. Angel of Death. I don't know. There's lots of overkill.
Oh, my God. Hang on just one second.
Yeah. Music is music, and the music is the music, and it shouldn't be some kind of political battle between who you agree with and who you don't agree with,
and that's the whole thing about it. It's become this divisive thing.
And
it all started like back in like 2016 with I Won't Back Down with Tom Petty and Donald Trump. And he was like, whoa. And that's really the first one I remember somebody actually getting upset about. And then it became like everybody. And it's funny because it's really only happened to him.
Yes, I know. That's what the crazy thing is. And it's like, if you listen to that song by Tom Petty, I thought that was on at the time. I thought, well, the song's about not backing down. That's what Donald Trump's saying. He's not going to back down. So that would be a pick for a song to say, fuck that, I'm not going to back down. And it's like, it's like, well, hang on. That doesn't mean you can still disagree with his politics if you want to disagree with his politics. But the song quite clearly says, it's like, imagine someone going into a cage fight and using a song that's like, Rain in Blood or Fight, and them going, right, we're going to sue you. We don't want to associate with you, fighting in the cage or MMA using our song. It's like, but the song's about violence. This is violence. So it's like, well, it becomes an anthem.
Right. It's like the violence is like where they want to draw the line. It's like, we're not promoting violence.
No.
Because now it is all of that based.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, with being canceled and whatever happens, it is all of that based, and it's another political thing that is what that is. And dirtbags should be exposed.
Of course,
dirtbags should always be exposed.
Yes, full stop.
But if it's the ones that always seem, though, there's always somebody out there that gets a bad rap or gets an accusation, and then it's disproven, but it's never like taken out. It's never.
I mean, that's back. With the internet and with social media, as far as the music goes, it was a good thing and it was a bad thing. It meant that if you couldn't get a band together, you lived in Poughkeepsie and you couldn't find a drummer, and your bass player was a flake, and you were writing all these great songs, but you couldn't put a band together, you could actually record everything yourself, produce it yourself, create a web page for yourself, and promote it all over the planet.
And then attract the players that you could need.
Yes. So, you could promote yourself all over the planet. There was no record company. There was no manager needed. Okay, you may have a small demographic, but you could do that. Someone in Kuala Lumpur could hear it and you could become their favorite band. Whereas in the old days, you couldn't do that. But, you know, the way it changed with social media is it became, instead of connecting people who were miles away from each other like me and you, and we can do this amazing thing and we can talk to fans and you're in London and you're there, you know, people started to go, well, now I can write to Bruce Dickinson and tell him he's a knob and I hate Number of the Beast. You know, it's like, why? Just because I can.
Hey,
you know, I can hate on people.
You know how it is because you're in that band. You're in Venom Inc. You know exactly how it is because people write to you that way.
All the time.
There are those people that are in that subgenre of Iron Maiden fans who are strictly first two albums.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then there's only those guys who are Blaze fans.
Totally.
Guys is a relative term, you know, people.
Yes, people,
yeah, then there's the people who are only Blaze fans, and then there's only people who are new era Maiden fans.
Yeah. But sometimes when you get the negative stuff, what I've discovered is there's a reason, because I'll always go toe to toe with someone. I don't mind what you say, but it has to have a purpose. It has to have a meaning. Why are you saying that? What is it behind? Or you think I'm gonna steal something from you, that you're gonna lose the music you love, that I'm gonna take it and own it? Because I can't. You own it. I'm just playing it. And I remember the guy. There was a thing on my Instagram, and this big guy, big motherfucker, and he red hair and beard, and I put something quite uplifting. I thought, we're doing this, and this is amazing, and blah blah blah. I put it on my Instagram. You know, everybody was responding really nicely. Wow, that sounds amazing, blah blah blah. And this one guy wrote to me, wrote shit in the description, in the messages, and then in the comments, and then wrote to me and said, "Oh, you fucking suck," and blah blah blah. I went on this like diatribe. So I said, listen, what's wrong with you? And he was like, "Oh, fuck you," and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so I looked at his profile, I found out where he was. I said, "Mate, you live in near Albuquerque or whatever." I said, "We're coming on tour." I said, "Come to the show, or I could come to your house. We could discuss this then. If you really feel that bad, maybe we should go toe to toe. If you really want to fucking punch somebody," I said, "I don't mind. You know, we can go to ground with this if you really feel that." I said, "Because you're really fucking insulting me, and I don't think that's what I want to hear."
Yeah, for sure.
So I said, you don't have to excuse yourself. You don't have to apologize. Just go fuck yourself, or stand up and account for it. Anyway, I didn't hear anything. I just thought, oh, fuck, I'd had enough, you know. And everybody goes to me, "Oh, you don't engage with these people." It's like, no, because maybe they're saying it for a reason. Maybe there's a reason. I've done something that I didn't realize I'd done, or offended them in some kind of way, or maybe it's just
with something that you've posted. Yeah,
exactly. So anyway, a couple of days go by and the guy comes back to me and he goes, "I'm really sorry about the other day." I said, "Man, it's fine." I said, "Listen, you showed a load of passion. I appreciate that. It's just you started to get a bit disrespectful. You started to get a bit wanky." I said, and that turned my button, you know. I said, "But why?" And he said, "I had a really shit day at work. My girlfriend just left. I'm living in a fucking mobile home in the middle of fucking nowhere." He said, "I just had the shittest day, and the first thing I did was open my Instagram, and there's you going, 'Isn't life wonderful? Isn't it amazing?'" And I thought, "Oh, fuck you." And I said, "Why?" So I said, "Well, that's amazing. I'm glad then." So I said, instead of being negative about it, see it as a positive. We're coming. I told you we're coming. You're now my guest. I said, if you don't have the money, let me know. I'll pay for an Uber. You can come to the show. I'll look after you. You can drink whiskey with me. You can have a great time, and I'll even make sure you get home okay. Is it a deal? Yes. The guy turns up at the show. We're fucking great friends now. And that was all from him going, "You fucking dickhead. Fuck you, die." And so the thing is that you never know what's happening in someone's life. And maybe they're just reacting to something because they feel it's a bit hopeless for themselves, and you look like you're just having such a great time, you know. But of course you're not. it's work. It's kind of hard to tour, and you're working 24 hours a day, and you may be hungry and tired, and you've just traveled like 19 hours, and then had to play a show, then had to meet everybody, then had to load in and load out, and now you've got another 19 hours to go to the next show. So it's not always as fantastic, but people want to live. They want to live and they want to experience the music, and it needs to be positive. So that's why I'll always be smiling. I'll always try and be as positive as I can, and I'll meet everybody. If I don't sleep for 2 or 3 days, fuck it. I can always sleep later. You only live once, and so it's about that and reaching out to people. So the upside of the internet is the fact you can connect with everybody. The downside is that some people are just unhappy and they want to express that, and if they see something that's far too positive, maybe they want to kick at it, a bit, just because they feel unhappy, But just spend a bit of time to reach out and find out why they're unhappy. Sure. If they can justify it and they just don't like it because X, Y, and Z, then that's how it is.
That's what I've always said about the Metal Forge, dude, is like if you're ever feeling like there's something that you need to get off your chest, message it.
Yeah.
If you want to reply, I will reply. If you say don't reply to this and you still want to get it off your chest, do it.
Do it.
There is an amazing website out there. It's called postsecret.com.
Okay.
And it is a postcard secret anonymous thing where people are telling their secret. And it's it's anonymous, and it is brilliant. And there's new ones every day. And it's just like some of them, it's like they could be your secret too.
Yes.
And it is so awesome. And, if you're having a shit day and, you just want to get it off your chest, do it.
Yes.
I mean,
I think that's it. It's our community is our music. But I always tell, a kid in the middle of nowhere who goes, "Oh, I fucking hate where I live. They don't get the music. They don't get me. And there's just me." And I said, "There's not just you, because across the planet, there's a million yous. And they live in people. You're listening to Dimmy Boog or fucking Mayhem, and they don't get it. And you dress like a goth, and you got piercing and tattoos, and everybody in your town's thinking they're satanic. They're doing some shit." I said, and then you go to a Vacan where there's another million people who look exactly like you, who love what you love. I said, your community is always there on the internet. Find them. Talk to them. Sure. They'll be able to relate to you. And I think I'd rather encourage people to write to me and just talk, just let go, tell me why, and then at least we can have a conversation. And at the end of the day, you might come out on a positive. The whole idea of there's only black and the black hole in the middle, and people say, why didn't you use the logo? And I said, because the font was seen on a mausoleum, and there's only black was about what's next, what's after life. And I saw that on the mausoleum, and I thought that's the lettering I want to use. So why use it? Because it means something. And the whole idea of the black hole of energy in the front is come in, get into the album. You might find your answers. You might find nothing. You might just enjoy it. It might enlighten you, or you might feel relieved. It might help in some way. If you don't find anything, you didn't find anything, but maybe you will. But give yourself the opportunity to try. You don't not eat the ice cream because you don't want to know what the flavor is. You try it. What kind of flavor is this? I don't know. It's green flavor. I eat it and go, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever tasted. Or I eat it and I spit it out against the wall. I don't eat it again. But give yourself the choice to try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. People like coffee, people like tea. Some people don't like either. But you have to give yourself the chance to
I think that was in a Blues Travelers song.
It was, yes, it was.
I think
exactly.
It was.
But that's the meaning. That's the meaning of it. It's like, try life. It's right there. Eat everything you can try. Smell everything, lick everything, touch everything. Just do what you can. It doesn't mean you don't respect people or don't respect, your world, but try it. Just try it. And if you don't like it, you can change it. You have that freedom to change it. It's your decisions that give you that freedom. But don't deny yourself anything, because you're not here long enough. You're not here long enough.
Definitely. Speaking of freedoms, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the derailed segment. This is 5 random questions about Tony as a person. And speaking of freedoms, because this kind of trades off with that.
Yeah.
Is there something that you've always wanted to do that you've never done, and why haven't you done it?
Well, I bungee jumped. I wanted to do that. I jumped out of a plane at twice, so I've done that.
Who jumps out of a perfectly good airplane? No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
fucking exactly. Yeah. But the weird thing is the higher you go, the easier it is, which sounds weird, but it is. And when you get to like 10,000 feet, 15,000 feet, it's like you're flying. It's just the most amazing thing to see the planet. So it gets easier. Um, I've always challenged myself. I've done movies and TV and Shakespeare and theatre, and I've seen most of the planet. There's still a whole bunch to see. And my goal was to meet everybody on the planet. And I've met quite a few of the humans and ate stuff I never thought I'd eat. I saw things I never thought I'd see. And so now there's nothing nothing I haven't thought about and haven't done. And there's nothing special about me. I'm just human like everybody else. So I think the lesson is, just do it. If you want to do it, do it.
Find your place to do it.
Yes. If you live in fucking, I don't know, Lyon in France, and you always wanted, your favorite story was the Alamo, go to fucking see the Alamo, walk around the Alamo.
Yeah.
If you always dreamt of what Machu Picchu looks like, go to Machu Picchu. Just do it. I didn't say it was easy to do, but just find a way to do it. You'll always find a way. The first, I think, maybe 10 years, certainly 8 or 9 years of me being in a band from 79, I didn't even own an instrument. I still did it. How do you do it with no gear, no instrument, and you're in a band? How the fuck does that work? But I did it because I borrowed everything because I wanted to do it. So I found a way to do it. And the wonderful nature of humanity is that we adapt. We adapt so easily. So, if you've got your goals,
you want to do something,
do them.
You'll find a way.
You'll always find a way. You'll always find a way. So do it.
So you mentioned a couple things in there I want to hit on. Movies and stage and all of that. You are an actor as well as I'm sure you work in stage crew as well, correct?
Yeah, I actually ran We Will Rock You for Queen, so I was their master carpenter running their musical show. I'd done production work for Rammstein, Rolling Stones, Radiohead, Coldplay. As a production manager building set, I'd built stuff. I was in charge of building stuff for the Olympics. And I ran the Lion King, the
in France this year.
No, for the London one. For the London one.
I was gonna say it's like, holy shit, you did the fucking shit for Gojira.
No. I mean, I could have got on it, but I didn't have the energy. We were too busy, so I thought I'm not putting that one in because it does take.
So
it takes a lot of preparation.
To that being the day job,
that's it. Yeah,
that pays. That's the taxers and the bill pays and all that shit. That's your source of income, which is awesome. And then when you and it's nice to have a place like that to work, because when you go out on the road, they understand because you're catering to people on the road as well.
Exactly. It keeps your feet on the ground, so your ego never gets above you, because most of the people at work didn't know I act. When I act, they don't know that I'm a production manager or an automation engineer. They don't know I'm in a band. And when I'm doing the band, they don't know that I'm an automation engineer or that I act. So, I keep them all separate. And in my life, when I'm just at home and stuff, most of our friends and my daughter's 22 now, but when she was young, I would take her to school and stuff, and nobody there knew what the fuck I did for a living. I'd just say, I theater and stuff, and they assumed I was just a crew guy. So, I didn't. I try to keep the things separate so they don't cross themselves. They do. Sometimes people Google me, like at my gym, when I go in and they went, I just Googled you last night. I went, what the fuck did you do that for? They went, I don't know. I heard you saying something, so I Googled you. Oh my God. I'm like, okay. I'm just training, so And it keeps you real. It keeps you on the ground, so your ego doesn't get above you. You don't think you're special, better than anybody else, because you're not. Everybody's as equal, and it
Right.
means that
Everybody has their place, man.
exactly. When I go to work, I work as part of a team. I enjoy it immensely. The engineering I always did from the early days. When I'm doing the acting, I'm part of a troupe, and I love doing the acting. And when I go out with a band, I enjoy it so much. So it's about embracing each in their own way, you know. So yeah,
So it's been probably close to 20 years now.
yeah.
Are we getting the sequel to Master and Commander?
Well, you know, it was difficult because Peter Weir didn't want to. There were 16 books in the series. I think that Patrick did another cover, but 16 main books in the series. And Peter accepted to do Master and Commander Far Side, but he said it was the only one that he could possibly see being done. But there was a follow-up called Desolation Island, and we were, well, those who weren't killed in the first movie were contracted. So I'm still contracted to do a second one. But Peter left the project, and Russell got really busy, and he kept getting scripts but didn't like the scripts. So, you know, I
So you're
think by the
still in
time,
limbo with it.
yeah, by the time we get round to doing some, you know, it's going to probably be recast with the younger crew, and we're going to be looking back at the early days. So, and maybe a cameo or something. But there's a couple of projects coming up, which are exciting. I don't normally take them because of the band. And next
Sure.
season, 25, kicks off with the USA, 2 runs in the USA, Latin America, full European and Asian tour, so and plus festivals, plus the recording. So it's going to be kind of busy. But there's a couple of movies being shot in the UK, which I'm quite excited about. So I may pop up in one of them or 2 of them. I don't know yet. So we'll
Ooh,
see what happens. Yeah.
hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
So speaking on talent, and being there from the UK, which Beatle is the most talented?
Well, I don't know who's the most talented. I mean, I think Lennon was incredible.
Sure.
But McCartney wrote some amazing stuff. You know, Ringo is the kind of he's the Metallica. He's the Beatles version of Metallica, isn't he? Because he gets all the
Sure.
shit kicked at him like Lars does. But
Oh
the thing
yeah.
is, Lars is on all of those amazing albums, and Lars is doing all those shows. So if he's not very good, he's pretty good at being not very good, then, isn't he? And the same thing with Ringo. You know, he played on all those classic songs, so he can't be that bad. I do know some shit drummers I played with, and he's not one of them. And George, I mean, you know, what a guy, and you know, what a musician,
The
what a player.
and that's a hard one. I mean, for
Yeah,
me, I would have to say out of like technical ability would probably have been George.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But for
Yeah,
vision and like scope and just being able to pull something out of nothing
yeah,
would have been Lennon.
yeah. I mean, you know, do you compare Live and Let Die to Imagine? I mean, you know, all
Uh,
those great. I mean, it's
yeah, I
impossible.
mean, because then you've got their careers after
Yeah,
Beatles.
yeah,
So
Woman,
that's a
what a
hard one.
song Woman was, you know, and like you say, Paul McCartney and Wings, you know, I mean, fucking hell, some great, amazing musicians and some great stuff written. So I think it's very, very different. I think, you know, like a lot of bands, they're all amazing in their own right, but
Sure.
you put that together, and I mean, that's something
And
else.
and
There's
then
a
you get a
synergy that
super
happens.
group. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a synergy that happens, you know. And I think that's probably obviously music's very evocative, and it puts us in a time and place. So the first time you heard Styx, or the first time you heard the Eagles, or whatever it is, Led Zeppelin, and when that lineup changes, very much like Venom, when Motorhead, when the lineup changes, you know, or AC/DC, I saw them with Bon Scott. So for me, with having Johnson in, it was great, but it wasn't the same as Highway to Hell, you know. And
Sure.
there was something about Bon Scott. He'd really lived those songs, whereas Brian Johnson sung those songs, but he didn't live like that. But you always
Sure.
got the feeling that Bon Scott had actually did that. You know, he'd shagged Rosie, or certainly been bludgeoned to death by a Rosie, you know. And so I think there's a difference. but like I say, it's evocative. It makes you feel 17 if that's the first time you heard it, or 22 when you heard it. And you could be in a store, you could be in your mate's truck, you could be, you know, your mother-in-law's. And if that song comes on, you have the same emotional reaction to it because you remember you're at being that age. So I think as we age, that kind of thing changes. But music is very, very evocative. But you know, it's the same for everybody. For me, I heard it with these guys. For someone else, they heard it with different guys. So you know, it doesn't have any less meaning for them than it does for me. It's just a different time period. But that's the journey through music, which I love so much. Is that feeling that you get when you hear that song?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could be sitting in the can in a fucking bar in the middle of fucking Route 66, and if fucking Ace of Spades come on, your legs start trembling. You know, it's like, wow.
Because it's like that's where you're supposed to hear it.
Yes, exactly.
And
Exactly.
I love that. And I had a surreal moment like that about
Yeah.
about a decade ago.
Yeah.
And I was driving on the road with my band, and my drummer and I, who started the band together, were in the front of the van. I was driving, and we were just outside of Dallas, Texas. And ZZ Top came on, and it was Tush.
Oh.
And that one moment where Dusty says Dallas, Texas, Hollywood,
Gosh.
we were on our way to the whiskey.
Oh, there you go.
And on tour, and that was the first time, you know.
Yeah.
So it was just like right behind was Dallas, Texas, but right in front is fucking Hollywood.
Yes.
And it
I
was
mean,
such
yeah.
a surreal moment, and I remember that to this day. And it's
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's exactly what you were just saying. And
Yes.
it's stuff like that that matters.
Yeah.
It does matter.
So we play. I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was in Nashville or something like that. But we turned up at a venue long time ago. We turned to this venue, like a little roadhouse in the middle of this a suburban district, and you could see downtown in the distance. And I walked in. I thought, fuck! It was like a dark pool hall downstairs. You could hardly see anything. I had to go up these rickety stairs up to the venue, and it looked all like it'd been last time used. The furniture was fucked. It was all used in the 30s or 40s or something. I was like, oh shit! You couldn't close the windows. It was like a rickety old place. Went down to a very dusty stage, was wandering around going, oh, yeah, I guess it's kind of cool. It's got some atmosphere. The guy comes up, I guess the in-house production or in-house sound, and he says, hey, Tony, how are you? I said, yeah, great. It's great to be here. I said, what do you think? I said, yeah, I bet this was jumping back in the day. Yeah, they use it for cabaret. Yeah, but what do you think? How does it feel? I said, yeah, it feels cool. It should be a good night. He went, you know who stood on that stage where you're standing now? Who? Johnny Cash, Elvis, just Jerry Lee Lewis. Just was going through these names, blowing my fucking mind, and I was going,
wow.
What, they all came here? He went, yeah. In the old days, this wasn't a suburban area. It was a crossroads. It was a roadhouse, and this was one of the venues. Everybody's played on that stage. Immediately it changed to like it became the most ultimate place I'd ever been. I went straight out, went on the bus, grabbed my fucking music machine and put Johnny Cash on and just lay on the bunk, staring out the window at this place with Johnny Cash blasting in my ears. And I just thought, oh my fucking hell, I'm going to go on stage where all these icons are played. You know,
Dude,
and
that's
I don't
how
care.
I felt with the whiskey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you think of who's been there, and people
Yeah.
go, "What are you playing the whiskey for?
Doors.
It's only small. You could play somewhere downtown." It's like because it's the fucking whiskey. It's the Roxy. It's the whiskey. It's the Rainbow. It's the Sunset Strip. Do you know the
It's the
shit that's
fucking
gone
Viper
down?
Room. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You know, that's why I love it. That's why I'll always play there. You know, they're
Fuck
good
yeah.
friends of mine now. You know, it's the same thing with St. Vitus in Brooklands or Le Moors in New York or CBGB's or the Marquee in London. You know, there's those places which are just iconic and you have to play them. They just mean so much because
I would
their
love to
history is
play
massive.
the House of Vans in London.
Oh yeah.
Like the old subway
Yeah.
hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Here's a silly one. What's the best type of cheese?
The best type of cheese is an English cheddar. A vintage English cheddar, I think.
Oh my gosh, I had an American, but it was aged like 18 years. So good.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
I
no,
think
I love Irish cheddar. I love
oh
English cheddar. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, yes.
There's so many great cheeses here, and of course France has all the soft cheeses, but I prefer the hard cheeses. I love Emmental or a good Gruyere, from Switzerland or something. But yeah, an English cheddar, a mature English cheddar. Wow, fucking hell, you can do anything with it, and it's so yummy. And
And
my one of my cousins in Canada, she's now living in Costa Rica, but she was living in Canada, and when I go like, have you got any good cheese? And not the yellow plastic American cheese that you put on the burgers, but a cheese I can put on cheese on toast. And she go, you mean old cheese? Because they're called mature cheese, old cheese. I went, no, I want new cheese. I don't want old cheese. But yeah, anything you got that's mature. But yeah, you can't beat it. Good.
no, definitely not. So I preface that with the cheese question because there's a cheese course in fine dining and things like that. So
Yeah.
what would be your ideal last meal? Go lavish to the point of entree, appetizer, soup, and dessert.
Well, I'm not a fan of soup, so I think I'd probably make it something simple. And I think that, as I say, I'm not a fan of soup, but the best soups I have been a homemade tomato soup in New Jersey. So I'd probably go for a homemade American tomato soup, and as my soup, as a starter, maybe some bread with some balsamic and olive oil and
Oh,
salt just to dip that in, just to get the taste was going. Then my soup. And I think as an entree, I'd probably have maybe scallops or something simple, scallops with a bit of truffle oil on. So a couple of pan-fried scallops would be good. My main dish, I'm a massive fan of Indian food. I was in India with the Shakespeare Company for a long time, a month or so, and it went all over and had the most amazing dishes. But I'm also absolutely into Turkish food, so I think I'd probably have something like a lamb kofta with a yogurt and bread on a bit of rice or some fries or something to do this nice in a place called Kushadasi, which is down from Gallipoli. They do this like shredded potato, a bit like French fries, but they're not created, but shredded potato nest. And then they put this koft on top, which is like a lamb minced with herbs and
I
stuff.
gotta wipe
Oh,
my mouth off,
it's
dude. You're
so
making
good.
me
It's
drool over
so
here.
fucking good. And I sat eating this thing on watching this amazing sunset. It was the best thing I'd ever had. And then, yeah, afterwards, a dessert. One of my favorite go-tos. It's Italian's tiramisu, homemade tiramisu. Can't beat a homemade tiramisu when Mama's made it. And then, yeah, I'd have a selection of world cheeses. So some good rich cheeses, hard cheeses probably from all over the planet with some good oat baked crackers. Maybe cracked black pepper, and then I have a lovely cup of coffee, nice brewed coffee, something Costa Rican maybe or Colombian. Probably I prefer Colombian.
I
Any
love a
Brazilian
nice
coffee is good.
Colombian blend.
Oh yeah, a nice one, nice and rich, and with an after dinner mint. I think why not something minty like an after it or something. A bit posh, something a bit
Sure.
posh, and that's it. Yeah, and a slow walk
Wow.
home along a sunset beach.
Ah, amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
So when you take me on the date, that's what you're paying
That's
for.
what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, exactly.
Tony over here getting posh, man. Hell yes. I
Yeah.
have one more question for you today, but before we get
Okay.
into it, as always, links are listed below. Give likes, shares, and follows. You should already be following Venom Inc. already. Fucking, there's fucking amazing dudes. All of them are. Fucking,
Thank you
I've
so much.
enjoyed this. Dude, shout outs. Who do you want to shout out today?
Just everybody, the boys in the band, Mantis, we're wishing you well, of course, and a
Yes,
speedy
brother.
recovery, of course, and everybody, the last tour, Mr. Kling's now with Overkill filling in duties, doing an amazing job, as you saw the other night,
Yes, absolutely.
and Yeah, and Mike Hickey, who did the second half of the tour from Calm Before the Storm, the Chronic Band, will be seeing him. And just you guys mainly, our fan club, Winston Owens and Marcel Crump, and the boys in the band, Mr. Curran Murphy, 72 Legions, who was with Nevermore, and I later helped us last season, and Mark Jackson, of course, playing drums. But just everybody, the fans, really, you guys.
Not me though.
Well,
Mark with
yeah,
the
there's
C.
another Mark Jackson. You see, I
Mark
just
with the
can't help
C.
myself. I know like 6 Mark Jacksons. It's
I
just the
know,
name I
right?
just go to. It's my
Well,
go-to
see,
name.
when I was growing up, there was the Pacers, the basketball team here in
Yeah.
Indianapolis. There was a Mark Jackson who played there. So,
But
but
the thing is, if you Google Tony Dolan, I might come up, but also Ronald Reagan's speechmaker was called Tony Dolan. So don't get us confused. Yeah.
hell no.
Yeah, but yeah, just to you guys, thank you so much. Like I say, don't pre-guess anything. The tour's coming up. We start kick off in January. We go for the whole month, February, and then we'll be coming back to do part 2. So don't get too. If it looks like we missed out your town, we'll be doing everything we can to come back to New Orleans and everywhere we missed, Portland, Seattle, and everywhere else. We just couldn't fit everything in. I did as much as I could. The set's an amazing set. The guests are coming out all over the place. Right now, out of 20 odd shows, we got like 10, 15 guests coming, and that's building each time. So hopefully every night you come and see us will be something else. I'm getting special things made exclusive for any meet and greets. If you want to come and meet the band, there'll be special things you can't get on the merch store. I'm not saying you have to do it or not. I just want to see you guys, meet you guys, and just have a good time. It's about our brotherhood. It's about our music. And, don't have any preconceptions. If you're not sure, just come see what you like. If you like it, you like it. But come and be one with us. That's our community. We love you. I love you. Thank you for the support, not just for myself, but for Venom from the very beginning, because it's all our journey. It's all our legacy, and it's your music. And that's why I play it, because it means something to me and it means something to you. I look forward to seeing you.
Dude, fuck yes, man. That is so fucking, yes, amazing. Dude, I appreciate you so much, and I thank you so much for doing this for episode 300. It is a milestone. This going into 2025 will be my 6th year of doing the Metal Forge. It's
Brilliant.
been there since
Bravo.
2019, and it's with dudes like you and bands that are still, it's like there's a scene from the pro wrestling deal where the guy gets upset at a con, and he goes, "It's still real to me, damn it." And he's in tears, and it's pro
Yeah.
wrestling, and yeah, for the people who like behind the scenes of wrestling and stuff, there is some real damaging shit that can happen.
Yes, of course.
It is a real contact fucking sport.
Yeah.
It might be predetermined outcomes and part of a show, but
You've got to look. You've got to look.
slap still
Yeah.
fucking hurts.
You've got to look at it. It takes an extra skill to be able to perform in a way where you try not to damage each other while you're looking like you're damaging each other, and that's
for
a
sure.
particular skill. So that's an
like
art in
being
itself.
a stunt person.
Yeah, totally. It's like you risking your life, but you make it look like it's easy. It's not easy. So yeah, you got to appreciate that.
Not. And people still get hurt, but it's still real to me thing is, what did I feel with metal? And it's like, and because it is still real, and there are new things every day, and there are new bands, and there's bands that just because they've been out for 10 years or 40 years, they're still new to you if you discovered them yesterday.
That's exactly it. And it's not what you do, it's who you are. Like we say in the song on Harvey, if you cut our skin, metal we bleed. That's in our blood. That's always in our blood forever. And I'm 60 now, going to be 61, but I wasn't always 61. And I'll be hopefully 101. I won't change. I'll still be me. I'll still love what I love, and I still love what I do if I'm still doing it.
I still definitely want to see Venom Inc. and when you're 101. I do want to see that. Fucking
yeah.
So my final question of the day, and it's conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Would you say that? Huh?
You crazy bastard.
Yes. Would you say that government corruption qualifies as a conspiracy theory?
As a conspiracy theory, I think I think the government corruption is real anyway, because any corporate company has some kind of corruption. You know, people get done for embezzlement and for stuff. So why would a government be different? These are people who, you know, if you're talking about Congress or Parliament for us, the people are caught all the fucking time doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. You know, they hide it mainly, and I'm sure
With
their
their hand
parties
in the
hide.
biscuit jar or the
Yeah,
cookie jar
yeah.
in America.
And I'm sure there's a lot of, in the cookie jar. And I'm sure there's a lot of your party that knows the shit's going down and they try and cover it because it's bad for the party. So I think corruption is not unusual in any government. I just think that some governments tell you other governments are corrupt to make you look the other way. You know, it's that movie where the dog goes trying to listen to its owner and keeps going squirrel, squirrel, and that's what they're doing. They're going, look, squirrel. So you look the other way. So if we put the focus on this particular government and what they're doing, you won't concentrate on us. So we can maybe hide this and mask it. So, but whether it's a conspiracy, I suppose you could loosely say it is if a party is trying to hide as a whole something that's true they don't want you to know about. But I think it's less conspiracy, it's more manipulation. I think they enjoy manipulating us. You know, some of us are very working class, some of us are quite simple people. It doesn't mean we're unintelligent. We believe what we believe. And why should you be lying to us? So we want to be told the truth. We want to find out what the truth is. And I think we're in an environment now where the media as a whole and the manipulation of parties and government bodies feed us things. We get into a position where we don't know what's real and what's not real. And so we have to investigate. We try and do our research. And it's very easy for someone to tell us a whole load of shit and then end up, down a conspiracy rabbit hole. But do we ever get to the facts? And that's the point with the conspiracies. You know, we never get to the facts. So maybe they're all conspiring to keep us thinking everything's a conspiracy. So we don't know what's real. We don't know what's real. We don't know what's
Jesse
real.
Ventura is proud of it.
Yes. You know, and I think
tackle box.
Yes, exactly. And I think I'm not a conspiracy person, but some things are too fucking weird to go, that's done on purpose. It's a conspiracy to manipulate us into thinking a certain way or not thinking a certain way or voting a certain way or believing a certain thing, so yeah. I think every government has a mandate to fool the people to stay in power. And I don't think there's any difference between the Democrats or the Republicans. They both want to be in power. They both want to be making the decisions. But while they're arguing all the time and nothing's getting done for Joe, who lives in fucking, Pittsburgh and just wants to go to work and support his family and put fuel in his fucking car and buy a loaf of bread for a proper price, he's getting fucked up the arse by these people arguing in Congress, not doing anything because they're just fighting each other. It's like, okay, I understand you don't agree. I understand you don't like each other. But for fuck's sake, can you just get together, decide to bring fuel prices down and decide to bring shopping down and fix the fucking economy together? Just do it so I can
fucking raping the American public or the public anywhere because it's everywhere at some
yes. And the thing is that while they have good points, their argument works there, doesn't work there, they're doing good here but not doing good there. While they're doing all that shit, the people who are actually paying their wages, the people who are actually paying for everything, helping overseas, building a wall, sending missiles to the Middle East, not putting bread in the... It's you. It's the American people. You're paying for everything. It's like, hang on. If you brought a contractor in to do your bathroom and he said, listen, it's going to cost you 12 grand to do what you want. And he came in and he did the way he wanted to do it. And you went, that's what the fuck are you doing? That's not what I was buying. And he goes, this is how I want to do it. What would you do? You'd fucking throw him out. You wouldn't give him 12 grand. You'd be pissed
Fuck
off.
no.
And yet the government does
But
exactly
that
that.
does that
Peels,
to us
peels.
already, and we
Yeah.
don't fucking throw them out. Yeah.
Exactly. They're just doing what they fucking want to do with your money. And it's like, hang on a second. We're not working for you. You're working for us. We the people, remember? We the people. Can you just do
Yeah.
what we want you to do? And I think it's indicative again across the board. I don't think it obviously some parties are better than others. Some politicians are better than others, of course. And some you believe in more than others, and some you want to vote for more than others. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in there. They're all supposed to be representing you, not
Yes.
themselves, not arguing with each other, but representing you because you're paying their fucking wages. So it's like, right, okay, I don't care that you're a shitbag and you're the worst premier or whatever it is we've ever had. Just do what I need you to fucking do because that's what I'm paying you for. And that's their obligation. And they all say it, but they don't do it. And so
Sure.
I think that's the corruptive side, I think. So whether that's a conspiracy, I think they just conspire to keep their jobs and tell you what you want to hear. So you keep voting.
No,
them so they
absolutely.
can...
I think it is that. It
Yeah.
is. It's more or less that we all know that it's there, but it's all about, it's the squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of shit.
Yes. And the thing is, I think, January 6th, good, bad, indifferent, whatever your opinion is of it, is that it was pushed to a point where those people went, fucking hell, enough's enough. Because if they just went home, they're disempowered. They don't have any power. I don't have any power. I can say my government sucks shit. I can say this prime minister is a dickhead. I can say they're fucking us up the arse and I'm overpaying everything and I'm not getting paid enough and I need this and I need that. But they know I can't do anything about it. I have to just suck shit because what can I do? If they put the taxes up, I got to pay them. If the prices go up, I got to pay it. So they know that I don't have the power. And when you see a French Revolution or you see what happened on January 6th, that's when, and we had it in London when we had some riots, that's when the people go, right, fuck this, enough is enough. And now you can only take us so far before we'll stand up and go, fuck you. So hopefully, they learn a lesson from that and they focus a bit more. In France, in Paris, when they tried to put the farmers' taxation on the farmers, what they did? All the farmers blocked out every road into Paris, and then 2 trucks went in and sprayed horse shit all over the fucking Parliament building. Now, that's a fucking protest. Nobody could fucking move. And what did he do? He changed the law and said, okay, no tax on, and they all went home. That's how you change things. That's the people in control, not the fucking politicians.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I say more shit on politicians. Let's throw shit in politicians and then we'll be okay.
Hell yeah. Dude, Tony, Demolition Man, Dolan, the man who allegedly stole a Castle Grayskull one time.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
I remember that story because I've got my Skeletor right here on the mic stand.
Ah, there you go. Well, you know what? One of the movies they're doing is He-Man.
Oh, dude.
I know.
Really?
So it's funny you just said that. It's funny you just said that. So we'll see what happens.
Dude, that would be amazing to see you in.
Oh, I just, so early days, but we'll see what happens. You never know.
Hell yeah, dude.
Gosh.
Hell yeah. You'll have to keep me posted on that.
I will. I definitely will.
Masters of the Universe fan.
Yeah,
dude,
if I get on the set, I'll nick you something. I'll nick something. I'll put something in my pocket from the set.
Oh, dude, that would fucking make my fucking life.
Yeah.
On our way out today from the career of Demolition Man Tony Dolan, what do you want to play?
Oh my God! From I think it should be Metal We Bleed because it's symbolic. It's symbolic.
So from the album Ave, Metal We Bleed.
Good night.
Yeah.
45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They are open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week, located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza DoNisi. Pizza DoNisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza DoNisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza DoNisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shadebeast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shadebeast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shadebeast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. to distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.